monsters.
Welcome back to Game Quest. I'm Mike.
And I'm Tony.
And this is Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. Is it Ghidorah or Ghidorah?
It depends on the movie.
Because it seems like whenever I start pronouncing it one way, I start seeing things that pronounce it the other way, and it's just like, okay, come on, which is it, man?
Like, it's kind of, like, there used to be, like, I used to know the definite answer to that. I'm pretty sure in most cases it's Ghidorah. And there is basically, in the Showa era, there's two movies. Basically, there's technically two introductions to this monster.
Huh.
There's basically Godzilla vs. Monster Zero, and Ghidorah the three-headed monster, which kind of have the same general plot going for them. Basically, this giant, powerful monster shows up out of nowhere and needs to be dealt with by multiple monsters at once. But the circumstances behind them are different. In Godzilla vs. Monster Zero, him and Rodan are brought into space to deal with this monster. There we go. Forgot how to use that for a second. And I can't remember if Mothra shows up to help later. But basically the aliens pull a Zortax, like whatever like aliens in this game are called. Vortak, thank you. And basically after Godzilla and like Rodan are brought to wherever their home planet is, they basically mind control them and basically Ghidorah in order to basically make them attack Earth and make them surrender. Because Rodan and Godzilla were their strongest defenders. So not having them around, or basically to actively defend against this guy, would have been really beneficial for them. It's a shame. I wanted to see if I can get that after the game was over. The second one, basically, aliens from Venus possess a young woman to warn about the monster that destroyed their planet, like ages ago, that turned it into basically the acid like hellhole that it is now. And then Rodan shows up to help Godzilla punch like King Ghidorah, but in that movie he's called Ghidra for some reason.
Basically, so we have a third equally incorrect pronunciation.
And yeah, like the Showa era is kind of like the place where the Ghidorah showing up constantly kind of became a thing, because he basically had the golden three-headed dragon show up once, and there's like people really like this guy and just kept bringing him back. Like he showed up in those two movies, and then Destroy All Monsters.
I think he was at least mentioned in the movie that had like Megalon and or Gigan in it.
Oh wait, yeah, no, he actually shows up in also Godzilla vs. Gigan. Him and Gigan show up and fight Godzilla and Anguirus.
Ghidorah's a fun character.
He just kind of keeps showing
We
up.
spent all of the Gigan fight talking about Ghidorah. No, we're still on the other, more interesting guy. Sorry. While we're on the topic of Ghidorah trivia, almost rhymes, and I'm disappointed that it doesn't. Oh, hey, Seattle. All three of his heads kind of have their own personalities. It's not super well represented in most movies.
Considering that they're puppets, like the fact that you can tell that there's differences at all is kind of a miracle.
One of the best jobs that have been done was the very recent American the Legendary Pictures movie version of King of the Monsters. probably does one of the best jobs of illustrating it that I remember seeing. And I mean, that's partially because CGI technology has come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, yeah, it's kind of funny, because there's, like, one of them is basically the most calm. I think the center head is, like, the most calm, relatively speaking, or whatever. The one on the right, I believe, is the most vicious and aggressive one, or whatever, and then the one on the left is affectionately referred to as Kevin.
This would be his right and left, I believe.
That's what I'm saying there. I'm thinking about it from the perspective of King Ghidorah, like the center head. And then it's like the right head is the vicious one, and the left one is the derp.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're looking at King Ghidorah, you're basically thinking, oh, giant three-headed dragon monster, not, oh, hey, that one's quirky.
Oh.
It's just like, yeah, Rodan, go ahead and like throw your tantrum. I'm gonna go grab a mocha real quick. Just kind of turned left and went. Oh, hey.
What do you...
That's a growl. That's amazing. What's that?
Oh, yeah. Rodan basically is actually a really fun, like, monster to play as.
Rodan is also one of the relatively few Toho monsters get 100% his own movie at some point, and I believe he was introduced relatively early on, like before they knew their entire franchise would be 100% Godzilla-centric. Tony, no. I believe in you. I believed.
Yeah, Rodan got his own movie, basically, where he was just a massive pteranodon that basically lived in a volcano.
Monsters.
He also didn't like show up on screen like at all. You just got like shadows and distant screeches for the most part. I remember watching it thinking it was weird because like, well, at the time I watched the original Rodan movie, my main exposures to the Godzilla media was the 1998 Godzilla and then a few of the other Godzilla movies from like the Showa era. So I didn't know, it was like, oh hey, like this movie that Rodan's in. I'm like, oh, Rodan, he's like the giant like bat monster thing, right? And then like he just wasn't on the screen at all for most of the movie. You got like an ominous shadow and then a distant explosion. It was like, oh no, Rodan has blown up the other thing we were worried about him attacking. Was Godzilla in the Rodan movie? I think he wasn't in the Rodan movie.
Rodan's movie was all his own.
Okay, I'm thinking of the other movie where Rodan was like showed up as a villain or something. Was that the one with Baby Godzilla?
Yeah, that's Godzilla versus Godzilla 2.
Okay, yeah, Rodan was fairly prominent in that.
Yeah, to the point that I'm not entirely sure why the movie didn't kind of have him take it about her as more of a part. I stumbled over like 5 different words there. Basically, he has a prominent part in that movie, but like it doesn't feel prominent enough. Like he has a heroic sacrifice and everything, but he's not in the movie a whole lot, all things considered.
Yeah, because I remember there was like a Baby Godzilla scene. There was also a scene where Rodan's like sitting on the side of a mountain looking at someone judgmentally. You could tell Tony knows more about Godzilla than me.
Oh.
I assure you, at least half of my knowledge on the franchise comes from talking about Godzilla with him or him talking me into watching a movie. Rodan, you feeling okay?
I don't think he is.
What is that where he just like hovers in midair like he's T-posing on us?
He might just be T-posing on us.
Like a building he could have been colliding into that we couldn't see from that angle?
Yeah, the buildings turn intangible when you, like,
Invisible?
Like, yeah, invisible from certain angles.
And that's the reason why I didn't like playing as Rodan. The weird camera angles basically you just constantly flew into the barrier. It's so hard to control. As you're only charging an attack.
I tried to stomp him instead of doing anything intelligent.
You stood up into it.
Yeah, I stood up into it. I kind of stopped paying attention to my health total, to be entirely honest.
Monsters. Fight.
But I do believe the moveset calls, like, his fire breath an ion ray.
You might be right about that. I genuinely cannot remember enough about Rodan to contradict you. Rodan, are you feeling okay?
He's stuck on the buildings, and it's not good for him.
What we were watching is Rodan and Godzilla failing the vibe check in real time.
How do I cancel this? That's what I wanted to avoid.
And then he healed.
Yep. Oh. Playing the flying monsters can be really fun, but you have to deal with the map that you're in.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, that is... There's a block button. I found it. I've been pressing it a lot, actually.
I like Tony's like, there's a block button, gets face fed to the pavement. I found it.
Oh. Ay. So I'm highly doubtful that this run's going to be successful because I have to beat Mecha King Ghidorah and then Mecha Godzilla after this.
Don't forget Destroyer.
Oh yeah, Destroyer. How could I forget literal Satan?
So, random question.
Yeah.
In terms of design, which Godzilla do you think is your favorite Godzilla?
Design.
Monsters.
I'm really partial to the Heisei series Godzilla and the Millennium Godzilla. Like, it's really...
So, this Godzilla?
Like, this particular design for the Heisei is kind of a little bit goofy, but it's not bad.
I mean, like, you're talking about referring to this iteration of Godzilla?
Yeah. So this one in Godzilla 2000 on this roster.
Interesting. Of all the, Godzillas that have borne the title of Godzilla, I guess... It's weird to say, but I actually really kind of like the way the, Zilla works, I think is the proper name now.
Yeah.
Which was the Godzilla from the 1998 American movie. I don't know, there's something about that design just kind of clicks to me. Where it's like, oh hey, where it's got the way it's set up and everything. In terms of classic Godzilla designs though, it's honestly, I think I would have to say the Godzilla 2000 Godzilla, the Millennium series.
Yeah, there's something... I'm not entirely sure what it is about the design, but, I can't pick out a bit about it that I actively dislike.
I think it's because, at the point where, I'm thinking of Godzilla 2000 specifically, the suit has basically achieved a level of basically design realism that no longer looks as cheesy as it did in, the older movies. But, we haven't fully moved into, super CGI Godzilla. I think probably my favorite Godzilla movie might very well be the Legendary Pictures King of the Monsters. Though it's kind of a toss-up between that and Final Wars. But I don't like that Godzilla design as much. Like I like it, but it's not my favorite. And it's ironically because in part because of like the well done CGI and realism. Because like every time you see Godzilla like waddle into screen, and those in like those movies, like the two legendary movies where he shows up, he looks like Godzilla. Like someone said, like, oh yeah, American Godzilla. You can tell because he's eating all the fucking cheeseburgers on the continent. And it's just like, cheeseburger.
Oh, yeah.
You can see it. Boy looking extra thick.
Fight.
Yeah, I think the Japanese audience specifically had an issue of how thick he could be.
I mean, it works. It's part of the design. He doesn't look fat so much as stocky, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, he's powerfully built. And, like, when he walks, it's not like he jiggles like a jowl full of jelly. He has, like, kind of, like, thick muscles and strides. Like, the design makes sense. He's not like a beanpole of a monster. He's powerfully built.
Yeah.
But it looks goofy when it zooms in on his face before he does, like, the screech. He's like, oh.
See, like, for me, basically, I kind of go back and forth on whether or not I like that design.
I really like it, but, like, I genuinely do like it. It's not my absolute favorite, but in part because when I look at it, it's just like, I don't know. When he has his hands up, I feel like you could Photoshop in, like, one of those, like, massive diner cheeseburgers that weighs, like, 5 pounds, like, into his hands. Like, you know what I'm talking about, he's, like, walking across the ice to confront Ghidorah that first time. You could see, like, him just, like, you know, have a little, like, a half-eaten cheeseburger kind of glaring at you, like, what you looking at?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see exactly what you're saying.
Which is funny, because if I was going to criticize Godzilla's design and say I didn't like it, which I do, I adore it, his is the only design that I could immediately criticize. Because I absolutely adore what they did with Rodan in that movie.
Oh yeah, that design was fantastic. I loved it. It captured pretty much everything that was cool and amazing about Rodan, and like all his iteration forms, and just put it into one thing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Godzilla 90.
It was like you don't really get to see how
Godzilla.
like it's kind of funny seeing a lot of the people who are new to the Godzilla series in general just go like, man, Rodan will just fight anything, won't he? He's like, yeah, that's basically been this like the hallmark of his species since like he showed up. Like highly aggressive
And
monster.
needing to calm down is Rodan's calling card.
He's like, oh, this highly aggressive monster that will fight literally anything.
I love how dumb Mechagodzilla's design is in a lot of ways. Like those missiles you see him firing off there, those are his fingertips.
Yep.
We don't know how he reloads those.
Oh god. And then there's that kick, which I both love and hate.
You need some room to breathe here, my man.
I think I might have just gotten it.
Nope. Yes. Go. Healing item. Ignore.
Come on. I'm just stuck. I'm just stuck in this fight.
Well then, by God, you better win it.
No, no.
Now's your opportunity. Run.
Okay. Let's see.
It's the other way.
It's probably gone by now, honestly.
No, it's still there. Nope. Rage is there.
There is a ridge there, and he's trying to go after it, which is why I'm staying right where I am. I wonder. Nope. unlocked. Missed.
Breathe fire. I meant the stream breath, but that works too. Just keep throwing. I like how this is like a... Oh. Okay, I was gonna say you need to grab that, but it's just, I like how this is like an area on their ship. So it's like, we'll bring them here and demonstrate how powerful our monster is compared to your monster. And then, like, you walked over and, like, ripped up an apartment building in their city and used it to murder the monster that they were trying to demonstrate.
Like, this is an area on their mothership. It looks like it's a normal town. The implications being that they literally basically they didn't expect that giant arena to go down, and so they just have it for entertainment for like the general
The arena
populace.
would be fine if they put the barrier reinforcing pylons outside of it.
Oh, it's just poor planning.
Your monster has defeated our ultimate weapon and escaped. Our campaign to seize your planet has been thwarted. For now. But we will return, Earthlings. We will return.
Oh wow, you actually did pretty good by the base standard of the game, apparently.
Wait, ABT? That's...
Did you play this and then forget about it? Is that why there are more monsters unlocked than I thought there should have been?
That doesn't make any sense. I might have played it like once, but like I should have.
Oh, you're also on easy difficulty.
Yeah, playing it like this, okay, yeah, I shouldn't have unlocked anything like this. That's
Okay, we will continue more next time on Game Quest.
next time.